kill me.
I'm the martial arts film freak, and I watched The Matrix Resurrection. Actually, this title's got me a little bit scared. Resurrection titles don't tend to go well. Alien Resurrection, The Mechanic Resurrection, Halloween Resurrection. Oh, this isn't a bad sign.
This is the moment for you to show us what is real. I remember this.
The Matrix Resurrection is a 2021 film directed by Lana Wachowski, starring Keanu Reeves, Carrie-Anne Moss, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, Jonathan Groff, Jessica Henwick, Neil Patrick Harris, one name that I'm not going to say here because it's a spoiler name, and I'll just write spoiler name right here. Priyanka Chopra Jonas, that's always fun to see. A little bit of Christina Ricci. I remember that was announced. Everyone was like, Christina Ricci in The Matrix. All right, it's going to be weird. Lots of other people, lots of other fantastic people that I simply don't have the time to get to. Huge, great cast. I really enjoyed all of them. But the film takes place after the Matrix trilogy has concluded. I don't know how to describe the basic plot of this movie without spoiling things. Jessica Henwick is our lead with Yahya Abdul-Mateen. Yahya, not Yayan. That's Yayan Ruyan. It's just they find Neo not dead, and the antics and I don't know. This is how it's gonna go for this. This is a pretty big deal for a lot of people. They love The Matrix. They love the story of The Matrix, and I don't know how to go any further discussing the story without just ruining it for people. I enjoyed many aspects of this movie. One thing that did have me worried is this thing that Warner Brothers is doing right now, where they just make everything about Warner Brothers. And I got really scared it was going to do that, because there were signs. As much as I love Jessica Henwick, and I loved her character in this, I thought her character was fantastic, and if they make more of these movies, I can't wait to see where her character progresses. Spoiler alert if you don't want to know just a character's name. It's on IMDb, so you can see it on IMDb, but I'll let you know when I'm finished talking about her name. Her name is Bugs. And I'm like, okay, it's a cool name, cute name, it's fine. But then she says, like Bunny. And I immediately was like, oh God, Warner Brothers, you're doing it again. You're Space Jam in this movie. God, you're going to make a Space Jam out of The Matrix. Jesus Christ, please don't do that. And, that's fine. Whatever. Although later on, she does end up saying, what's up, Doc? And I was like, stop it. Stop. Don't do that. And then later on, somebody mentions Warner Brothers. And I'm like, don't do it. God damn it. Don't do it, Warner Brothers. Don't. God, don't just put yourself all over a Matrix movie. Don't. I hate it. Don't just take a Matrix project and just throw Warner Brothers all over it and say Warner Brothers, and I hate it. People talk all this shit about Marvel and like, oh my God, universes. There's also big Sony doing it with Venom, and Disney owns everything. But at least they're not being obnoxious and just being like, you don't just hear Peter Parker in the middle of a fight scene just go, for Walt Disney, for Mickey Mouse. Jesus Christ, if I swear to God, if Neo is in a fight scene, and in the middle of a fight scene, Porky Pig pops out of a frickin' computer with the rainy letters and all of a sudden just says, yeah, but that's all, folks, I will be fucking pissed. This was a weird tirade to go on at the very beginning of a movie talk. But the movie teased. The movie did a few things where it says Warner Brothers, Bugs, and I'm like, don't you do it. I loved the characters in this, as I did say. I loved Jessica Henwick's character. And at first, when we first kind of meet the team, we don't. The movie just kind of shoves the team in your face for a second, and I'm like, oh, okay, we're not going to get to know these people. But we eventually do sort of get used to this casted crew of the ship, her whole crew, everybody, even in the city of humans. Great people, great performances. I enjoyed all the relationships. I liked that aspect. I liked the Yahya Abdul Mateen, the second character. I thought that was a really, really cool idea. I can't go into detail on this for people that don't want to be spoiled. It's just, his character is something and somebody, and that sounds like it could be weird and awkward, but it works. This is going to be a weird review, not being able to just talk about things. I did like this sort of upgrade to the Matrix. There are new things in every Matrix movie. There are new things, just like in the second film when he goes to like punch one of the agents and it catches his hand or something, and Neo just goes, upgrades. Things are new. Things are upgraded. There are new introductions to the world of the Matrix. It is a computer program, most likely, as the Machine Empire or whatever has learned. Machine Empire, that's very Power Rangers Zeo. It upgrades things. It adds new additions. And I liked a lot of the new additions. It made the world a bit more fresh, and it made the world a lot more dangerous. However, there were additions that made the world more accessible and easy to write a plot in, easy for driving a movie forward. For instance, in the old Matrix movies, whenever you wanted to get out, you had to get to a phone or a phone booth. It didn't even have to be a phone booth. You just had to get to a phone and put it up. You out of the Matrix. At one point, somebody says, "Oh, when we don't have to get to a phone booth anymore to get out," but then it doesn't. I don't think the movie explains how they can just get out of the Matrix. It seems like they're just unplugging people. And we know from the first Matrix that if you just unplug somebody while they're just in the Matrix and they're not ready to come out yet, you kill them. They're dead. And this movie just seems like they're just unplugging people whenever they want. It doesn't show them getting out. It doesn't show them escaping. It doesn't give them a point of escape. And that just feels like it's making it easier for the writers to make a movie. It just bugged me. We do have a few characters returning. I will not say who. It's just a general whole consensus of characters returned. I'm not going to tell you who returned. We already know two because they're in the trailer, but other characters are back. I like how those characters have moved forward in this world of the Matrix. There are characters that were maybe not so prominent and very prominent in the previous films, and where they are now, it worked. It made sense. I didn't think like, really, we're gonna do this. I mean, there are sort of some ideas of like how we get here, but it's similar for like Neo on how we get here, or how Trinity gets here. Like, we saw them die. How are they here? The movie explains that, and I'm cool with that. But then there are other characters who also have moved on to this new series or new film, and it works. I was happy to see them, and when they explained how they got there, or how time has passed, I'm like, yep, okay, I'm cool with that. None of that makes me angry. And, nothing should make me angry. It's a movie, but you know what I mean? When something just doesn't make sense and you gotta question it, nothing really here made me think, bullshit. I think I've covered enough story, sort of basic film aspects, that I can start talking about some action. Perhaps the most disappointing thing about this movie is the action. I didn't mind a lot of the story stuff. I did enjoy most of it. I, for the most part, really enjoyed a lot of the characters, especially Jessica Henwick. Jessica Henwick, after Iron Fist, I will be excited to see her in anything. She is wonderful, and I want to see her be the lead in anything. Not to say she's the lead in this, but she is very prominent. I enjoyed a lot of that stuff. I enjoyed pretty much almost all of the ideas of this movie. But once it came down to the action is when it feels like the Matrix has gone off path. I, of course, just did a video about the Matrix. I have talked about the Matrix in several videos. I love that the Matrix just leans so hard into the Hong Kong Kung Fu aesthetic. And I don't mind if it would step away from that, as long as the fights and action are good. And there are good things about it. There are. It just doesn't feel as coordinated as previous films. And I mean everything from the gunfights to the fight scenes. when you see the shootout in the Matrix in the lobby, every inch of that set, every inch of that scene is perfectly laid out. People are where they're supposed to be. You know where everyone is, and they have to get to where they need to get. They need to kill who they need to kill. In this, it just feels like they would flood a scene with people and they would fight or they would shoot. There's a scene where a character is just sort of surrounded by cops and is just kind of firing, and it just feels there's something way less entertaining when it's just spray and pray, hail of gunfire shootout. You just need something more, especially when it's the Matrix. And then with the fight scenes, they're not shot as well. They're not as steady cam. They're not as wide shots. The choreography, I'm sure, is great because it also had Chad Stahelski, who does also have a cameo in this film. Chad Stahelski is back to help do a lot of the choreography and the coordination and stuff like that. New vehicle that just drove by. Very loud vehicles. Threw me off my concentration here. Action, fight scenes. Chad Stahelski has a cameo. Coordinated action, fights, stunts. Yes. So the choreography could have been good. There are moments where you do get to see a little bit of it. But one thing I love about The Matrix is the authenticity of the performances, not just the acting, but the physicality, the martial arts, the choreography. It all feels authentic. It all feels real, despite being this computer simulation. The people we were watching on screen are doing everything to immense success. I didn't get that feeling probably once in this movie. There are people who look good. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II looks okay. Jessica Henwick, of course, we do know can do the training to be proficient, did it for Iron Fist. She's good. She's great. Jessica Henwick is one of the highlights of this movie. Keanu has some moments he looks good. Carrie-Anne Moss has moments she looks good. Just, like, overall, no fight scene in this movie made me, like, wow. Like, every Matrix movie has had that. You know, the entirety of the first Matrix is that. The fight scene at the beginning of Matrix Reloaded with the agents and me and Neo, or Colin Chow and Neo, or Morpheus on top of the truck against the agent. Like, several fight scenes in the second one are just wow. The third, of course, that final fight scene. Anything with Colin Chow in the third one. There are scenes that I can remember, I can harken back to, and still think, oh my god, that fight scene was amazing. I don't think there's a single fight scene in this movie that will make me feel that way. A lot of this movie does rely on his powers within the Matrix, which is fine. I love seeing him, manipulate the Matrix. This movie made the Matrix feel like the Force. The Force is an energy field created by all living things. It surrounds us, penetrates us, it binds the galaxy together. If you are Force sensitive, you can manipulate the environment, the Force. This movie made the Matrix feel a bit like the Force, but I didn't really mind that. So anyway, in conclusion, characters I liked, performances I liked, story aspects I really enjoyed. I love actually how just the overall world of the Matrix, not the computer simulation of the Matrix, but like everything, the human world, the real world, the war between machines and humans, I love how that has all evolved. That is extremely interesting, and I would 100% read a book or a comic book or play a video game about that. That is wholly awesome to me. It's just a lot of the action in this I didn't care a lot for. I will rewatch this movie. I'm probably going to go see it in theaters at some point, even though the action is not wholly incredible to me. I think everything else shines around that. This movie has a lot of really good ideas. Not always the best execution in certain things, mainly just the action. I am going to give The Matrix Resurrection. Let's go. Yeah, it's weird to be so middling, but like 3.5, 3.75. Let's go 3.75, because like 4 sounds like a movie's like really great. This movie's not quite really great. I'm going to go 3.75, I don't know. Helicopters blowing up, blue-haired Jessica Henwick diving through mirrors. Just a lot of stuff. This movie's a lot. I don't even know what to focus on. 3.75 out of 5 for The Matrix Resurrection. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed a lot of things about it. I didn't love it like I wanted to. I didn't really have high expectations, and the movie scared the hell out of me, making me think it was going to be another Space Jam movie. God, please don't do another Space Jam movie. But what did you think of The Matrix Resurrection? Have you watched it? Are you going to watch it on theaters, HBO Max? If you like it, I mean, support it. That's one reason I want to go see it, is because I don't just want to watch it on HBO Max and then be like, oh, look, we got another view on the streaming service. No, movies get sequels or movies move forward because of money. That's just what it is. If you want to support something, go see it, go pay for it. I want to see this world progress. I want to see Jessica Henwick's character. I want to see the whole new gang of people move forward in this world. I want to see how this human civilization and machine civilization, I want to see how this evolves more. And for that, you got to pay, because that's how you vote. You vote with your dollars. Tell me your thoughts on this in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Head over to Facebook, there is the Martial Arts Film Freak Facebook page, Instagram, Martial Arts Film Freak, Tristan_Glover on the Twitter, Martial Arts Film Freak on TikTok. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good day.